This meeting being live streamed. It's being live streamed. Where to live stream the meeting? YouTube Live. Well, how cool is that? It's Cable Reimagined. Dismiss. I don't need that. Seems to be streaming, but Wheel of Death. There we go. Awesome. 10 seconds behind. I am streaming and it seems really choppy. You guys want to check YouTube, my YouTube channel? Yeah. One of you go just take a peek because it just seems. I'm watching. Hi, guys. We're just testing to see if this is working. You can also DM me at my Facebook and I will send you a link to the Zoom if you want to join us there, or you can watch this. And that'll be cool. It's I'm in New York City, and in 2 minutes I'm going to be hosting Shawn's social. And is it really jumpy? It's really jumpy.
Oh yeah.
It's streaming okay on the other one. Very smooth. Awesome. That's cool. All right. There's like 16 people watching already. Hello. And I'm going to now. Minimize that over to there, and
People are commenting saying it's clear.
Oh, it's clear. Thanks. Good. I love it. I'm sitting on a bed in New York City. We did Monday Night Magic last night. By we, I mean I'm here with friends Billy Shway and Gabriella Lester. We came to New York to do a show at Monday Night Magic, and it was a blast. For those that you don't know, I do a gathering once a month, first Tuesday of every month on Zoom. It's called Shawn's Social Hour, and it's an hour. Might be a little shorter than an hour, but it'll be an hour. Usually it's an hour. And I just invite friends to come hang out because I think it's a cool thing to be able to visit with people. And they'll be joining me in the room. I'm going to open up just a Facebook one all by itself and minimize those so I can see if some people drop in to ask if they can get the link. And I'll do that for the first few minutes, and then I will be busy having a conversation, so I won't remember to do it. But you can always come back and join on another one and see what's going on. Here we go. Yeah, I know those people. And in middle. Oh, this will be fun. I like hanging out with people. It's so good. And as people come rolling. So what was last night like? Last night was a hoot. We had 39 people for a dinner style show. So that was kind of cool. Hello, everybody. Somebody speak so I know that you're there.
Hello.
We're here.
Oh, I know why, because I put headphones in. Rolling. So what was last night like? Last night was a hoot. So now I got to lower that. We had 39 people for a dinner style show. So that was kind of cool. Myself.
I feel like you just said that.
Hello, everybody.
Holy deja vu, Batman.
Deja vu.
Hey, hello. Deja vu.
Sometimes it takes 3 times.
Deja vu.
Or more. Awesome. I still had the YouTube. I did this last month. We streamed live to YouTube. So we're streaming live to YouTube. I like that. And there's
Hello,
more
YouTube.
than a dozen folks already tuning in to watch, which is cool. And glad you all found your way here. It's very nice. There'll be more, I'm sure. But so glad to see you all. We're in New York. We spent last night with Vinny there. It was fun, didn't we?
I had such a good time.
Yeah. They laughed, they cried. We did magic tricks. We tried some interesting new idea. All of us played. We did walk around, so you got to visit the people at the tables. It's a very small, intimate space. Is that a good way?
That's one way to put it.
Thank you. It's very. It has the top room in an Italian restaurant in Greenwich Village called Monte's Trattoria. Is that how you say that word, trattoria?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I heard the food was good. They put my food down, and they put my food down while I was performing. Yay. And then when I finished performing, they took my food. Gabriella said she tried to save it. It didn't go so well. What was that? Why don't I just turn this way, then we can all be seen. Oh, look out. You guys all duck. Okay. Like this. Oh, look at you're going.
Oh, hey, I know
We're
them.
all going to be in the picture.
Is it?
I
Hi,
know these
Topher.
guys. Hi guys.
It's a lot nicer when you don't join an hour before it starts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Topher showed up an hour early. He was excited.
I jumped the gun. Okay. I was like, oh, it's 12:30, and then I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. It's 1:30 my time.
Yeah, every week there are people that join sometimes 3 hours in advance, 2 hours in advance, then on time, and then after it's over, I see people wanting to join, and I'm like, I get it, because we have people from Turkey and Germany and Italy and France and Edmonton, which is right next to me. It's very confusing. It says, that 9 hours and 1 hour difference. Am I bugging you, Topher?
It's fine. It's fine. Have at it.
Awesome. That's good.
I'm just glad to be on time. I'm normally half an hour late. I keep thinking it's 1 o'clock. Your time said 12:30. And now we're on the same time zone.
At the moment, we are actually on the same time zone. This is very unusual. 4F was off the hook great. It was the 50th anniversary of 4F. For those who don't know, 4F is Fechter's Finger Flicking Frolic. It's the most exclusive Magic gatherings by invitation only. 2 other people have to sponsor you to attend. And then you have to not suck or you don't get invited back. Billy did it. It was great. It was his first.
Hey, Billy, congrats.
Billy!
Hey!
Billy!
Go,
It
Billy.
didn't suck. It was awesome.
It was fabulous.
I got to host a show. I don't like to host shows. I'd rather just, sweat for 7 minutes. I call the performance area the Crucible. Because stuff goes in and gets crushed and comes out different, and I don't care who you are. It's a lot of pressure because you're looking at 200 of the finest. The first year I went, the front row was Herb Zero. There was Patrick Page, Alex Elmsley, Max Maven, Paul Gertner. Bill Malone. This is the front row. It's just the first row. Wow. Absolutely terrified and said, I thought most of you were dead. It's kind of crazy, right? And I've seen some of my biggest heroes tremble in the Crucible performing. And you're like, dude, you're like my icon. And they're like, dude, everybody else in this room is my icon. You're like, yeah, I get it. There was a performance. I won't mention it. There was a performance a few years ago. The person was a mentalist, brilliant mentalist, well known. You all know him. And he tried, instead of, this is the problem. Most people try something that they think will fool the magicians. That'll be, crazy, great. Oh, this is going to break 4F. Instead of doing something they're really comfortable doing. And that's the problem, because then you're not comfortable and then you'll be even less comfortable once you step onto that space. And this performer had a good 7-minute lead up to the big finale, but the finale didn't work. So it was just a 7-minute lead up to nothing. And as a professional, he was good. He said, Well, sometimes things don't work and life goes on and we just move on. But thank you for your gracious time. And walked off the stage and around behind the curtain. And they hadn't turned his microphone off yet. And all we heard was, why at 4? Oh, shit, why? Followed by the audience saying, your mic's still on. And him going, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. Yeah, he's been there once. It was fun.
I got to tell you, I was sweating my presentation to Mark, but it turned out okay.
Yeah, it did. Things like, everybody, it just, so this year as the host, it was weird because I have to, not think about yourself. You're elevating all the acts, making sure that they're great and that there's good transitions. And I still want to put some gags and a little bit of magic in. My best gag. So Juliana Chen is like a sister to me. And she said, Shawn, I get a seat in the front as a guest of honor. So I sit in the front row and where all the old guys sit. So she says, you're not going to be sitting in your seat for the evening show. Can I have your seat? And I'm like, sure. She said, do you think that's okay? I said, it's my seat. You sit in it. I should have said no. I love her. But so I had a great gag. And the gag was I bought a snack bag, a Ziploc bag. You tear it open. Inside was snacks. They were dog treats, by the way. So I came out with this bag of dog treats, covering it so you couldn't see it was dog treats, and tore it open and said to our guest of honor, Mark Mason, I said, Mark, I know as a former guest of honor that you don't get an opportunity to eat a lot. People are all talking to you, taking pictures. And this is the one opportunity while the show's going on, you can snack a little bit and drink and watch a show. And so I brought some snacks. Would you like one? And I reached in, I took one for myself and I ate it while I offered it to him. And he reached in, took one out, was just about getting his mouth when Juliana goes, that's dog food. Don't eat that, Mark. Don't eat that. And I'm like, shut up. Because I was eating one. So he should be too. It would have been really funny because when I turned around and had a picture of a dog, I said, look how happy he is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
He
like
was such a good boy.
eating your own dog food.
Yeah.
I did
tried
a call.
several times.
I did a call back to
You had
you.
a great
on
callback,
that.
Gene. Yeah. You had an absolute great callback with, you're such a good boy, Mark. Such a good boy. I had a meeting passcode. 1 second.
So you were talking about the guy who messed it before. I had at my show on Friday. So I have a glass of water and I have a fish loaded, right? So I make a fish appear in the show. So at the beginning of the show, I make my two wine glasses appear, and I go to get mine and do the cheers with the other two guys. There's no water in my glass. I forgot to put the water in my glass at the beginning of the show, and I can't just skip the fish trick. I'm not gonna let a fish die, and I have to the fish is the next thing. So I'm I have to go out of the room and get water, which is not a great look. So
great start.
Yeah, not a great.
I know this guy who last night the trick where he needs a bag full of water, and he didn't bring it on stage. He left it in the back area, so the host had to go get the bag of water for him.
Yeah, but the host got it so fast. The host was right on it.
Billy's in stereo.
Like bugger.
Oh my God.
And he still slayed it, even though forgetting the water. So.
Well, Shawn's frozen, but Billy's still moving. That's interesting.
You're not a. But it was a trick. We're talking about the trick because we're trying to.
Shawn, you've been frozen for
know what
a minute and a
the
half.
trick was, but now my connection is unstable.
Shawn,
probably because someone else is dragging the Wi-Fi.
Probably.
Oh,
So
Right, data?
it's
just me. They're not on. They're not on the. They're not on the fabulous Wi-Fi of the hotel. Oh,
So how long
Where
you
are
guys
you?
wait for? Yeah.
we're here for tonight. We went for 4 days, and then to New York. The first night we went and saw Ozzy win live. Highly recommend that. Anybody who wants to be amazed and entertained. Ozzy has this small, intimate theater, seats 100 people, but it's rake seating, so can't be more than 25 feet away if you're in the back row. We were second row, so it was the people at the table and then us. So very intimate. Every person is a part of the show in a way. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's an entire show with a deck of cards, but there are no cards. It's really cool. Hi, Meadow.
I'm
Hey, Meadow.
Meadow was
Oh, Meadow, great.
Meadow was at the Monty convention the day. It's quite a week for Magic. There's the 4F and then Monty, and then we came and did Monday Night. So it's people who live in the New York area. It's quite a lot of magic that can take place in a short period. And Monty had such a huge lineup. Was this their 75th?
I think so.
I think it was their
was it?
75th.
Yeah, it was 75th. Yeah.
Yeah. So quite a stellar lineup. Aussie show. What else can I tell you about Aussie show? So much interaction, lots of mind reading, but doesn't look like mind reading. Oh,
Yeah,
speaking of mind reading.
Don't tell too much to
watch-
spoil it because I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
I'm going
I
into-
Christian Grace. You probably know him for level 1 or his one-to-one switch. You're going to know him for another thing called Enigma. At 4F, he did a routine called Enigma, and it's the closest thing I've seen to magic in my entire career.
Is that the thing you were talking about last night? With
Yeah.
the words?
Yes. It's like the mother of all book tests with no restrictions and no book. It's just, you think of any word in the English language, and you touch fingers and you spell the word, or he puts his thumb on the back of your neck while you pretend to spell the word on the table, and then he tells you the word without any fishing. My word was stethoscope. All he did, he put his thumb on the back of my neck, and I act like I had plates, and I went STE like this, spelling a word. And in the end, he walked to the front, and he says, if I do this, does this mean anything to you? I said, no. And he goes, wait, I haven't finished. And then went, and I started to laugh, and he goes, it's a stethoscope. You guys look great with those hand images. The children's table next door.
I'm in the room. She's on the YouTube channel. Is waiting for it to catch up.
The children's table's next door. So has anybody seen any cool magic lately?
I saw a great show last night.
Oh, how would you describe it?
Very tight and close, intimate quarters, and incredibly entertaining. With food.
Intimate. Like you with food.
With food.
With food. How was the food? I saw mine go to the table.
Mine was okay. Katie's was lackluster, but mine was good.
Awesome.
I saw Ben and Jonah
I
show.
ordered the chicken parmesan.
I heard the chicken parm was good.
Ah. Topher, does your show have food at it?
You're talking to me? You were breaking up there.
Oh, sorry. I said, Topher, does your show have food at it?
No, just drinks. People can bring drinks in. That's it.
Drinks is a good idea because drunk people clap louder.
Yeah. So Ben and Jonah were here.
Or
They did,
heckle.
that was cool.
Ben and Jonah were in town?
Yeah. They did a lecture and they did a show. So I saw their show
Where did they do theirs?
at the Grindstone Theater here.
I don't know the Grindstone.
Oh, it's like a local theater company. Yeah, it's a nice room.
Big, small?
Small, like 70 people.
Oh, that's good. That's big. I'm 30.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, it was a good show. They had a lot of like stuff that was good for magicians in the show, which is kind of funny because I think they mostly perform for lay people. So they did like card to any number, and lots of cool stuff, which is like, there's no way to explain it. It's great.
Any number is good for lay people, Topher.
It is true. No, it is. Well, it is. Sorry. I forgot you had a card at any number.
I did it all last night. I put it at every table in my walk around set.
Right.
What the heck?
What else do they do? Ben has some really cool stuff on stage. Yeah, they both have great stuff. It was they have solid presentations. It was a good show.
Yeah, they're really good performers and sweethearts. They came and did Vancouver a couple months ago. Yeah, a couple months ago. And then we all went out to some Moe's. What was that place called? Something Furniture. Yeah, the restaurant bar that we ate in.
Oh, just
It's
so
called.
far.
No, it's not some bar. It's something the furniture, because it's got a stupid name. It sounds like you're going to a furniture store, but you're going to a liquor place to drink and eat. But it's I'll think of it later. It's really not pertinent. How many people are at Monty? Yeah, mine's lagging a little bit.
I don't
'Cause
know
I've
how many
lost
people were
you.
there. I mean, we had a full room for the gala show, but I don't know how many people were there, like total. So I didn't get their numbers, but it was a pretty good show. Michael, who's here, his camera's not working.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's having issues with his camera, but who was all on the show? Greg Fruin, Juliana Chen, me, Michael Durdant, Sarah Krassen, Christian, his last name escapes me, and Martin, also his last name escapes me. So yeah, it was a really good show. It's a good show.
Awesome. And it's like a raised stage and then rows of seats going back. It's a pretty
Yeah,
big room. So
it was actually really beautiful because we were up high enough that the chandeliers were like flanking the performers on the stage. It looked really beautiful. Yeah.
oh, that's cool. Take advantage of the room.
Yeah.
I haven't done Monty in maybe 10 years. But the old hotel used to have a very vaulted ceiling.
Yeah.
So it was like the stage ended and hello, small humans. There's small humans on the screen.
Hello.
Oh,
Oh,
and what are your names?
This is Yanni, and that one that just ran away is Stefan.
Hi, Yanni and Stefan.
They just got home from school.
Oh, that school thing. I used to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Stay there. Stay longer than I did. You'll be
Fucking
smarter
wrong,
than
me.
exactly, Yanni. 100%.
Okay. Glad
Hey,
to see that
Yanni,
you made
check
home.
this out. See if it works
Check
with the
this out.
stream. Oh, he left.
You see, he just pulled cards from his mouth.
Did you see that? That was weird, right?
Get
Yeah.
it again.
I think I know that trick.
Me too.
I think I know
Me too.
exactly how it works. You have
Yeah.
the cards behind your hand and you put your hand up to your mouth and then you put the cards down.
No, he ate
That's
the
a
cards.
good
before-
idea.
No, he ate them before the show.
He ate
I
it.
just put them from the bottom up.
Iron fiber.
Hmm.
Bottom up. It's so much
Good.
easier. Hey, are you good at spelling?
Are you?
Yeah.
Can you spell the word spot like a spot on my jacket?
SPOT.
And what do you do when you come to a green light?
You go.
Yay! I love children. They're
They
the
know
best.
this joke.
I love them. I know
Let me,
kids know.
let me tell you a confusing question. If
Okay.
you have five apples and 7 lemons, how many pancakes fit on a barber shop roof for crocodiles?
3.
No, purple, because aliens don't wear hats, causing earthquakes to love bubbles, making windows like paintings in Brazil and Japan, causing Russian elephants to shove batteries down their throats.
Oh, that's good.
A lot.
Wait,
they're-
Yanni.
They're little hams performers.
Oh,
I
I
don't
like
know where
this.
they get it.
How do you put an elephant in a refrigerator?
You clear out the refrigerator and put the elephant in.
You just open the refrigerator door and you let them go in. I didn't say how big the refrigerator was.
Okay? You put
Yeah.
the elephant in.
See, the elephant's the size of the refrigerator. How do you put a giraffe in a refrigerator?
You take out the elephant.
And that's what the giraffe is.
Yes,
We already know that one.
it's so good. So, do you know the rest of it?
Yeah.
Yes. Which animal didn't go to the party? The giraffe.
Because he's in the refrigerator. Yes. So
Oh
good.
no.
Wait,
Why did the chicken cross the road?
I don't know.
Because
Oh, we just saw that in a meme last night. We saw that in a meme last night, and Billy said that has to be in your set.
Oh my God.
So good. So good.
Take a bow. Take a bow. What is new? Take a bow. Okay, now run away.
Well
Run away.
done.
Run away. Say bye.
Goodbye. That's so good.
So do they know they're going to be in the entertainment industry yet, or?
So it's funny. They've actually never seen an actual magic. Well, I guess that's a lie. They saw Paul Draper on a virtual show, but they've never been to an actual. So I'm performing at Abbott's this summer in August, and I'm going to bring them with me. So they'll get to be in the audience at Abbott's. So I just figured, their first like legit magic show should be Mac King. So
Yeah.
Meadow, aren't you?
By the
Yeah,
way,
but how
Meadow,
are they
I'm-
at Bubbles?
Philly, right?
Meadow, I've met
yeah.
you on Facebook. It's Topher
hi,
Gowan.
Topher.
Yeah, I haven't met you in real life yet, but this close we've come so far. So it's nice. to
Yeah.
meet you.
You were asking, are they good at bubbles? Yes, they do. They do play with bubbles.
Billy's asking, aren't you based in Philly?
I am. I'm in Philly. Mhm.
He's now saying, that the IBM convention is in Pittsburgh.
Yes. I will be
Lots of
there.
great magic at
I
the IBM
pre-registered.
convention.
Yes.
It's like a 4-hour drive for me, but I will be there.
She'll be there. He was suggesting bringing your children to see
Oh,
magic.
bringing them with. Oh yeah, that's actually a good idea. But then I have to deal. Then I have to deal with them the whole time.
For the whole time.
The whole time.
It's okay. Gabriella will look after them.
Oh yeah.
Gabriella.
Yeah?
She's like,
She just said, oh,
Oh
She
yeah, I
said
love
she would
hecklers.
teach
Yeah,
them
bring them to
things.
my act. I love hecklers.
Isn't that why Lance goes? He can
yes,
look after them.
that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, Gabriella said she'll teach them things like how a shower curtain works because she only figured it out yesterday. She's never had a shower curtain in her life.
Oh,
So
that's
she just thought
hilarious.
it was for her privacy. So it was outside the tub.
oh
Oh,
dear,
no.
It was a little wet.
oh dear.
Oh no.
Did everyone else
Wow.
do that?
Okay, does everybody in the world know that a shower curtain goes inside the tub? If you don't,
Yes.
please raise your hand if you know that it doesn't go inside. If you didn't know it went inside, yeah, right. See,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
all
yeah,
know
I
it goes
know.
inside the tub. Oh, wait, really, Sheila? You didn't know that a shower curtain goes inside the tub, not outside, so that the
Never had
water
a
doesn't
shower
just
curtain.
pour onto the floor.
Never had a shower curtain, so it's
What-
always been like a closed door.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you just saw a curtain, like a plastic curtain, would you put it inside so that the water ran into the tub, or would you leave it outside so it ran into the room and said to yourself, well, that's what that towel on the floor is for?
No, I'd probably assume it was for privacy immediately, and then if I were to ever get in the shower, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's making a mess.
Man, I love him.
But
Okay. You can leave the meetings, you just kidding. How old are you?
20.
Ah, see, Gabriella's 19. Apparently, we need to teach children better when they're in life. I don't know. Okay. I get it.
How can you teach someone when there's no tools to do it? We've never had a shower curtain.
No, he's right. We haven't.
See, I was the
Yeah.
exact opposite. I had a shower curtain growing up, and the first time that I stayed somewhere where there was the clear glass door, I was like, hello, this is an exhibition. Where the hell is the privacy? You know,
That's what the bathroom door is for.
oh, I knew it was there for something. I thought it was just to keep the farts in. My bad.
How about this?
It's the very first time I saw the most amazing one was in Beijing, China. The entire bathroom was glass. like a glassed-in enclosure, clear glassed-in enclosure. And I'm like, well, this is certainly a place for only a single person to stay in, because if you're with a couple, I don't want to be on the toilet while you're staring at me through the glass. And it felt weird. And as I went to take a shower, there was a button by the door, and I thought maybe it's the fan. And when I pushed it, the walls, the glass walls, all went opaque. And I was like, wow. And it was filled, it was 2 layers of glass with smoke in between them. So the entire room just darkened up. And it was when I pushed the button next to it, it sucked all the smoke out from in between, and it was clear again. And I was like, oh, I did it for half an hour. It was like a magic trick for me. It was just over and over.
How about those real cheap plastic ones that attack you while you're in to take a shower?
On a cruise ship, those ones are so thin. The shower curtain was no longer happy just being on me. It wanted to be in me. It worked its way into spots. It was easy. I just sprayed soap on the curtain, and then I turned slowly, and it bathed me. It was
like a car wash.
Too much information. Sorry.
Yeah, in Hong Kong, in one of the high rise, the men's room is it's a glass looking outside, and it's a one-way glass, so you cannot see from the outside, but you in the inside you can see. It's very disconcerting. You know, you are on your own. Yeah, the urinal is like you feel like you're outside in front of the whole world. It's very strange.
I've been in several of those where they say that it's, one way, and I'm like, but how do I know? Because I'm not outside.
Trust, that's what makes it work.
YouTube comments. Because we're streaming on YouTube, and the comments will be over to the right.
Yeah, I saw
about the Kickstarter.
I went to
probably.
Recently. Yeah, sorry. I went to Tannen recently to see Noah Levin, and I had a great deal of fun. It's very intimate, just like 10, 15 people, really, really nice.
He does it at nighttime around the table in the center, right?
Not anymore. That's the way he used to do it, but now he starts where you have all the shelves at the back, and then he gets closer. It's like a semicircle now. It used to be all around, but now it's a semicircle, and he brings the table about a third into the show, but he starts standing, he does different things, and then he sits, and it's around the table. It's about 8 people around the table and a few behind. So, yeah.
I think it's kind of cool that they're finding a way to use that space. We visited the Don't Blink Magic Shop yesterday, Magic Ballet, and I said to him, his space is perfect for having a show, and his style is standing up like a bar. And I said, he's got bar tables and stools. I said, why aren't you opening in the evening time and doing what you do? He said, I go down the street to the bar. I said, yeah, but they're selling the alcohol. Do it here and sell a ticket. And I love that they're doing things like that in unique spaces. You said somebody asked about Kickstarter.
Yeah, if there's going to be another one.
There's going to be a new Kickstarter for my Hidden Wonders. This is the Scarlet Edition. The next one, I don't know if I'm doing the blue one or the green one. We have Emerald and Sapphire to go. They're both going to be runs of just 2,000. And I think I'm going to do it in August, probably the first week of August. So it'll run like August, probably 2nd to the 29th, something like that. But I'll make a post about it. Both designs, both colors, it's the same design, but just a different, the green is going to be a really dark green, not like a lighter, but more like a casino, a little bit darker than a casino green. And the blue is a nice, dark, rich blue, not a bright blue. So I'll decide which one I'm doing next, but it'll be August. And then I'll do the last one, probably start of 2024. I'm excited to have them because these cards are the best, aren't they?
He's taking up 3/4 of the best.
The children's table's acting up again.
They're the best until someone steals your king.
Oh man.
Today we'd planned to get up early in the morning and go to Coney Island. We got up at 2. So,
I can't imagine why you got up so late. Didn't you go to bed on time?
it was almost 6 a.m. when we went to sleep.
Similar.
Yeah. Because, New York is the city that doesn't sleep, so we thought we would test it. It was good. It's hard after you do a show to just, go back and go to sleep. You got all that adrenaline and
Right.
your mind's racing through what you did for a show and what happened and making notes and that sort of stuff. And then I have 2 children that ask a lot of questions.
I asked a few.
Just a few questions.
One asks more than the other.
They both ask a lot of questions.
But
I only ask questions when you're trying to go to sleep.
yeah, same here.
They seem to plan it to only ask when I go, I'm going to bed now. And they go, can I just ask one question? And then 2.5 hours later, that was a question the other night.
Problem.
She asked who I want at my funeral. I'm like, I don't plan that. It's not my job, right? It isn't, right? I'm pretty sure it's not my job to plan the funeral. Right. No.
You can plan parts of it.
I did tell my wife that when I pass, I would like to be cremated, and that I'd like my ashes to be put into a can of paint, and then for her to paint the master bedroom, because that'll slow down the next marriage. Is that dark? Sorry.
Depends on the color of the paint.
It's true. Yeah.
You beat me to it. I was going to say the same thing.
Red. Just let it run down the walls.
But now I'm thinking it'd be better to put it on a shower curtain.
Shawn was here and still is.
I think that would be a really good story. Like the next people who come to live in the house, if you had it red and just had it run down the walls, just like, oh, don't worry about this room. That's just my husband.
Awesome. Years ago, when I used to have an agent, I used to always tell my agent that when I died, Lori was going to send him 10% of the ashes. Funny. I think it is.
Oh my.
Oh. Yeah.
That all got a bit dark, a bit quick, didn't it?
I like to. I have a line in the show some nights where I say, my fondest memory is making sandcastles with my grandfather, but then my dad took the urn away. Well, I can't believe I blew the joke. It's not part of the show. Yeah. Michael Gummer work, but mine is running really slow. It's like
I
jumping.
hopped off the Wi-Fi for you.
You hopped off the Wi-Fi? You were on the Wi-Fi.
Like a little, like about
Okay.
15 minutes ago.
You painted the room.
You need tell
Ashes,
tell,
just a
tell
slightly
Gabriella to
different
get
color.
out of the room. She's blocking the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Even on my phone.
It's her magnetic personality.
Totally.
The last Shawn social a month ago was shorter. I appreciate the people who dropped in, but I was in Amboise, France, working on the film Lost in the Shuffle, which we finished all principal photography on it. Gene's one of the executive producers on it. We filmed the last scenes at Chateau Amboise in France, where the king died 30 people to watch me perform in a routine that I'd only created 24 hours before. The concept was I interviewed in Orlando Richard Turner, and I asked him what his favorite plot was. Then we flew to London, where I interviewed Michael Vincent and asked him what his favorite plot was. Then we flew to Paris, where I met with Alexandra de Vivier and asked her what her favorite plot was. And then to Juan Tamariz in Madrid, learned about his favorite plot. And on camera with each of them, they not only talked about the plot, but gave little tutorials to me on how to get started on doing those sort of things. And then my job was to add my favorite plot. So there were 5 plots, put the 5 plots together and create one new routine using all of those. Oh, but it also had to illustrate the story that the movie's about, of the 500-year-old cold case murder mystery. And of course, I got Richard's early, then Michael's relatively soon. Alexander's about 6 days before the filming, and Juan Tamariz was 24 hours before I had to be on camera. So, and not knowing what their plots were until I interviewed them. So I had part of it, then more of it, then more of it, and then when you see the film, Juan Tamariz plot and card match was totally out of the realm of what I thought it was. And it was fun having to figure out some way to do something that I've not really ever played with a deck of cards ever. And then performing in front of 30 people 3 times in a row to be filmed for the movie. Yay.
Sounds like fun.
It was. But I dropped in. We had a break, the union break, when they have to go and have their lunch and everything. So instead of going and eating, I popped onto Shawn's social and visited for a little bit, and then had to race off and try to figure out what the heck I was doing in 20 minutes later for the filming. And I spent a lot of time running it through my head. And then I got to did it 3 times. Then we flew home. I did shows at Hidden Wonders for the week. And then on the Monday, the film crew came into Hidden Wonders, and I got to perform that same routine 3 times in front of a live audience at the theater. And I couldn't remember the routine because I'd only done it 3 times in my life.
And you didn't write it down?
No, but thankfully the sound guy had all the recordings, and he put them on my head, and I listened and went, oh yeah, I remember what that is. Yeah.
Nice.
And then made notes, and then went out and did the show.
Cool.
And it didn't suck. It's a good routine, and it's tells a story, and it's got good magic in it, and it'll be fun.
Love to see it.
You can go to Lost in the Shuffle.film to see the trailer.
Yeah.
It's the initial trailer. There'll be, now that the principal photography is done, they're going to start an actual trailer that shows more of Richard Turner and Alexandra and Michael and Juan Tamariz. Juan Tamariz did the most amazing thing at dinner. We had a big dinner. Woody Aragon, Camilo, Consuelo, Rafael Benatar, Christian, a bunch of Spanish magicians all got together. I took them out for dinner. It wasn't on the budget for the film, so I picked up the bill for the night for everybody, because I just wanted to experience that Spanish thing. And Juan Tamariz, towards the end of the evening, says, I show you something interesting. He pushed our wine glasses to the side. He pushed my plate to the other side. He asked me to take the deck of cards and shuffle it, and begin putting cards down one at a time until I wanted to stop. And when I stopped on the 8 of hearts, and he just smiled at me and said, and it's done. And I had no idea what he meant. And there was a card box that he kind of gestured towards. So I thought, oh, maybe he surreptitiously put a card in the box. Something went to pick it. He goes, no. And he put it down. He said, no. And I was like, what? And I couldn't figure out what he was talking about. And then I just kind of relaxed and looked at the table. He'd pushed the wine glasses over so they were under one of the lights in the restaurant. And the shadow of the 2 wine glasses together made the shape of an 8. And the wine that was left in the glass looked like a heart in the shadow. So I'm just looking at the shadow on the tablecloth of an 8 with a heart.
No.
And my brain exploded.
This is incredible. I mean, just artistically speaking, this is, I mean, just the thinking behind that is incredible.
Yeah. Wow. Who thinks, oh, look, I'm going to move tableware around until I have, yeah, it was.
Wow.
It was, yeah. And the camera guy filming it, he's looking down. I can see he's got the camera on it, but I can tell by the look on the camera person's face over my shoulder that he has no idea what he's looking at for a second. And then you just see his head just kind of tilt like, oh, holy crap. And he just starts focusing in on it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really magical. Everything was magical. We after filming one day, we decided we were in London. We went to a small little cafe, just 5 blocks from the Magic Circle, and we thought we'd all go in, just have a pastry, a coffee, and chill. As we walked in, we just finished 6 hours with Michael Vincent, interviews and doing magic and being taught his plot. We get in the car, we drive to this little cafe, we walk in, and at the back of the cafe is Michael Vincent sitting at a table practicing his card tricks. It's like, so what? He goes, oh, you found my favorite cafe. And we're like, well, that's pretty cool. It's like, that was nice. In Paris at the Double Fond, we filmed all day. We were a couple of blocks from where the big protests were taking place in France. So we're only like 2 blocks away. And we're staying in our little square where the Double Fond is. I'm interviewing and hanging out with the guests. And I went for a short little walk, like a block. And person walks up and goes, Shawn, how are you? And I stared at him for a second. I'm like, oh my God, it was my friend Simon Jukes from England. And I said, what's going on? And he says, I saw the Facebook post. I'm in France. So I came across to Paris to hug you. I was like, yay. It was very random, very cool. We had like a 10-minute conversation before I had to go back to film. And I'm like, you came all the way here for 10 minutes. He said, I love you. I said, I love you too. It was really nice. Yeah. Everywhere we went was cool. In Paris, we tried to we did some street magic. And I said, we'll just pick some Parisians. I'll do some magic. The first 2 people I met, I started the magic and I said, and where are you from? And the girl says, Ireland. I'm like, oh, and they knew. She goes, Germany. I said, oh, great. Fine selection in France. Next group I walked up to, it was, they were from Switzerland, Italy, and Russia. I didn't do any, and then there these 3 guys, very typical, what I would say were French, the really masculine 5 o'clock shadowed, hat sideways kind of guys. And I went up and very heavy French accents. And I said, so are you from Paris? And he said, no, we've been living here for 3 years, but we're all from Australia. And then they switched over to their Australian accent. And I was like, is there anybody in Paris that lives in Paris that's going to be seeing my magic? I just got all foreign, even in London. In London, in front of Buckingham Palace, I got Italian people, German people, and Canadians. Didn't get a British person in England. And pretty much everywhere I went, I got somebody else. It's very interesting.
I believe in London, it's about 60% of the current population in London isn't actually from England.
60%. Wow.
Yeah, it's as high as
That's
60%.
huge. Oh, so in London, in Chinatown, I'm filming, and this guy taps me on the shoulder. I've just finished performing for a group of about 12 people. Person taps me on the shoulder, so I turn to look. He smiles at me and spits cards out of his mouth, and then signs. He signs hello, and I go hi back, and he goes, I love you, and I'm like, I go, you know me, and he goes, he spells Shawn, and I'm like, okay. And I look over the camera and say, you got that, right? And they're laughing. I says, yeah, we did. I turned to these 2 young men on this side. And the one guy says, if we can talk to you. And he reaches in his pocket, pulls out a deck of bicycle cards and said, would you mind signing these? I'm like, what? I said, are you a magician? He says, I'm from China. And yeah, I would love you to sign. This is my friend. He's from South Korea. And we just met down the street. And then we saw you doing magic. And I'm like, I'm having a magic convention right here.
Spontaneous.
So
cool.
Crazy. So there was a South Korean, a Chinese nationalist, a deaf guy, and me doing magic together, just hanging out. And the camera guy's going, this is awesome.
So a FISM winner, a deaf guy, and a Korean guy walk into a Parisian street. I'll figure out the punchline. Give me a minute.
The deaf guy was doing ASL, even though you said it was in London.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing that the deaf guy had heard of you.
From London. Ah, it's good, Michael.
Oh,
I see what you did
And
there.
he'd heard of me.
I see what you did there.
Michael Vincent.
Yeah, that's my point. I think nobody in London is actually, they're all visiting. It just that's a funny story. The very first time, so Hannah's 16th birthday. Yeah, be 16th birthday. I asked her what she wanted to do. Maybe it was 16th, might have been 18th. 18th birthday. It was definitely the 18th birthday. For Hannah's 18th birthday, I said, "What do you want to do?" She said, I would die to see Hamilton. So I went looking to see how much Hamilton tickets were in New York, and they're too much. That's how much they are. Too much. So I tried to find an alternative, and the alternative was we could fly the whole family to London and buy tickets to Hamilton cheaper than getting one Hamilton ticket in London. So we flew to London to see Hamilton, and we came up out of the subway or the tube, stepped up, and we're trying to figure out which direction, get our bearing, which direction. And a young man walks over to me and says, "Excuse me." I said, "Yes." He said, "I know you're here with your family, but could we take a picture together?" And I'm like, "What?" I'm thinking that it's some sort of a con or something. I said, "You know me?" He said, you are Shawn, right? From Fool Us. And I'm like, "I am." So we take a picture. As soon as he walks away, Hannah looks at me and says, "Is that the way this trip is going to go?" And I said, "I don't think so, Hannah." Pretty sure that was pretty random. So we see the show. The show ends. We go over for some sushi. We sit down in the sushi restaurant. There's maybe 6 tables that have people at them. We order. As soon as we finish ordering, the couple next to us, the guy looks over and says, "Would it be okay if I took a picture with you?" And Hannah goes, "This is the way this is going to go." And I was like, "I don't think so." Another couple walks across the restaurant to take a picture. I turn to the couple next to me on the other side, and the guy says, "Excuse me, are you famous?" And I said, "Do you know me?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, that answers your question now, doesn't it?" It was pretty random. We didn't see anybody else for the rest of the trip, but the first night was really weird. It's very weird. Did you have a good time at Monty, Michael?
Oh yeah, definitely. I had a great time, and it was, I think, a cake for me because we decided early on there's gonna be so much magic. I offered to do a juggling routine to kind of break it up, and that's a lot more relaxing to me than doing magic in front of magicians, knowing that I get to be one of the variety artists. Well, I would say Meadow was the main, like, she was really the juggler in the show, being the something very unique and more the variety artist. But I got to throw in my style of juggling and comedy into the mix.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was
They sell
interesting
public
hanging
show
out with
tickets.
Michael Amar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't he just the sweetest guy you've ever met?
Yeah, absolutely. Like after the whole thing was over, we're just sitting around a table in the hospitality suite and playing some stupid game with these poker chips with numbers. What is it called? Mind. This ridiculous game. And all of a sudden it hits me. I'm like, he's just sitting there playing this game with us. And I look across the table and I'm like, it's freaking Michael Amar sitting here just playing this dumb game. That was incredible.
Yeah, it's I posted a picture on Facebook from meeting him for the first time 40 years ago. Basically, it would be this week. So just a week after 4F, he came to Vancouver to do a lecture. My girlfriend at that time, Kirsten, and I, we went over and I said, "What are we doing in Vancouver?" I said, "We're going to see a magic lecture." And she said, "No, you're going to a magic lecture." And I thought to myself, this relationship isn't going to last. I was right. I was totally right.
I met Michael Amar too when he came here for a lecture. I gave him a ride around, and I kind of miss him. He was super fun to hang out with. Yeah, he's just he told me fun stories and stuff. He likes to talk, so that was cool. But yeah, he told me cool stuff. Oh, you're frozen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I hosted some regional IBM convention, and I wanted to reward a friend of mine, Ray Medway, who works very hard. And we're having the convention in Kelowna, which is like a 3.5 hour drive away or whatever. So I asked Ray, I said, "Ray, could you do me a favor? Would you mind driving one of the acts up because we can't fit everybody in our van. And he's like, "Oh, sure, who?" And I said, "Michael Lamar." And he looks at me and says, "Did I do something right?" Yes, thank you. So we had a 4-hour drive with Michael. They stopped and had lunch on the way up. It was a lot longer than 4 hours. We got there and said, "So how do you feel?" He says, "I feel like the convention's done. It doesn't matter what happens after this."
What's really crazy is how much he's changed, because if you look at him in the Vernon videos, he's very like sitting upright, proper, doing proper shuffles and everything. And then you see him today, he's just like, he's totally relaxed, and he's kind of his performance style has just changed a lot, right? Since he was a kid. So it's fun to see how he was back then and then how he is now.
Oh yeah, he's found space. Sorcerer's Safari Magic Camp. He was the guest of honor one year, and I was walking. So Sorcerer's Safari was a very unique experience. People broke into little groups and they had sessions, and they go to these little cabins. I never liked going in the cabin. I'd always take the kids down to like the dock and sit by on the beach, and then talk magic theory, show a trick, and have to ask questions, and it was fun. One time I didn't have a session, so I was walking around poking my head in on the other sessions. And they're all in cabins, but I walked by where Michael Lamar was, and he wasn't in a cabin. He was under a tree with this shade, with the kids all sitting around him. And I was like, so this is what it must have been like during biblical times.
Oh, tell me about that.
Oh, yeah. So at Sorcerer's Safari, when he was guest of honor, he was showing everybody card on ceiling, and everybody's, "Oh, this is the greatest thing." And then one night we were leaving, there's the theater there they call the Pine-Tagus Theater, like Pantages, but Pine-Tagus. He and Lee Asher and Aaron Fisher and a bunch of others got together and created a miracle that the kid, I talk about it to this day. I know the kids talk about it. We came out of the theater and Michael said, "Everybody, before we go back to our cabins for the night, would you like to see one last thing?" Outside, he had a kid pick a card, sign the card. He shuffled the cards. We're standing outside, and he threw the cards into the air, and one stuck in midair while all the other cards fell down, and it was card on sky. It was just in there, floating in midair, and kids were pointing their iPhones, trying to light it up so they could see the card, and it just sat there, hovering in midair, and then it just slowly floated away. And that was the end of the trick.
No way.
Card on sky. They'd taken all day and filled helium balloons to put in this giant black trash bag they'd found, massive trash bag. And they had it with fish lines going to 4 trees. And with the lights that are in the outside area, it blinded you so you couldn't see the edges of the black. And so Michael threw this deck of cards so the card stuck to the plastic, but it just looked black and the card. And then the 4 guys on the corners all released their strings, and this giant garbage bag filled with helium just left.
Wow.
That was a miracle. Did I just tip a trick on YouTube? Oh no, exposure, because everybody's going to do that one. No, yeah, it was crazy good. The look on the kids' faces was unbelievable. Like, that card's floating. Yeah.
Was Michael at 4F?
Yeah, he was on my show. I got to introduce him. And he was brilliant. Almost everybody they were all great performers of mine. One had a technical issue, but did 3 pieces, and 2 were unbelievably brilliant. The third one didn't work. And of course, on the last day, Rick Merrill and Steve were after the event, and they pick on people. That's what they do. And they picked on one of my acts, but it was funny. They said it was, what was it? I can't remember the joke. It was a very good joke. Can't remember it because I was busy. Have you ever noticed that when you see a comedian, if they're really, really funny, you don't remember any of their jokes? It's probably why most people remember my whole show. Oh, come on, that was funny.
Where?
YouTube.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's interesting at the same time. It's true what you said, Shawn. I mean, people may not remember exactly, but they remember they had fun and they remember you, and they'll come back for you.
Absolutely. There's that famous quote, Barry Angelou, that says, people won't remember what you said or what you did, but they'll remember how you made them feel.
Yeah, and that's very true.
Oh, somebody on YouTube asked, what's your thoughts on televangelists like Peter Popoff in that psychic industry? I think they're all really terrible magicians who couldn't make a living as a magician and decided to bilk the gullible public, and it's very sad. Years ago, James Rand at the Tonight Show, and he was picking on Peter Popoff. I didn't think Peter Popoff would ever come back after Randy's appearance on the Tonight Show, and it took him a long time to come back. You can Google it. Look at James Randi, Tonight Show, Peter Popoff. I know it's out there. James Randi was on the show. He said, all these televangelists selling, holy water, blah, 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 blah. He said, I went to a tent show by Peter Popoff, and we brought a bunch of sophisticated radio equipment, and we discovered that God speaks to Peter Popoff on 97.3 megahertz. And that God sounds a lot like Peter Popoff's wife. And then they ran the tape of Peter Popoff talking. Who is Harold? And then you hear this voice going, Harold lives at 11-7 circle. The angels are circling around 1170. And I thought, after that, and his Peter Popoff show was immediately canceled on television because, he showed it. I thought he was gone forever. But just a few months ago, I was flicking channels and saw he was on there still selling little bottles of water to people. No, giving them, pardon me. He gives you the bottle of water, but as long as you give an offering. Those. Yeah.
He's been doing that for a long time though now. Like he must sell a ton of those.
Well,
the water?
He started back in probably the 60s and was massive in the 80s. And I thought he was dead, or at least dead in the water. Oh, dead in the water. I thought he was gone. At least I hope he was gone.
Doesn't he also sell those meal kits for the the end of days? And it kind of looks gross, but it's like these giant buckets of food, and it's like a meal kit that'll last you like a month, and they're like making it on air, and it just looks disgusting. But he's like, the end of days are coming, and your family will need this food. So,
I didn't know he had that one, but
Yeah.
that sounds worse. It degrades anybody's beliefs so far because they have all these. I sent a tithe to Peter for the holy water, and within a week I got a check for $5,000. I'm like, oh, so money's the answer to your prayers. It's awesome. Yeah. People like him or Uri Geller, who claims Uri Geller. A friend of mine was having a charity for children's hospitals, and he wrote to Uri Geller to say, would it be possible to send one of his bent forks or cutlery signed that they could have in the auction? And Uri Geller was kind enough to send him one. He just sent him a fork and said, please bend it. It's more expensive to send it bent.
There's a movie called Holy Water. It's obscure. You look for it. It's really funny. I met the director and producer, and real quickly, it's made in Ireland, and it's these 3 or 4 old geezers who are trying to hijack a truck of Viagra, and they accidentally drop the Viagra into the water supply for the town. So holy water, and it's all these old people running around. It's a funny movie, Holy Water.
That
sounds great. I just found Peter Popoff. PeterPopoff.org. On PeterPopoff.org, Miracle Spring Water, Peter Popoff Ministries. And when you look at it, there's a big red disclaimer that says, note, do not ingest the Miracle Spring Water.
Yeah, because he's getting it from a swamp behind the building. There's a great movie you should all see called Pop Hayden's Amazing Miracle Oil. That's a good choice, Paul. I like that. It's a great movie called The Great Buck Howard. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and watch The Great Buck Howard. It's a non-autobiographical film loosely based around the amazing Kreskin. And it's well worth a watch. You'll giggle and it's a weird movie. It's got John Malkovich in it, so you know it's good. The Great Buck Howard. That's my magic recommendation for the month of watching.
I met Kreskin at the Friars Club in New York, and he was visiting, and he was at the front desk, and he says, "Where's the exit? Where's the exit?" I said, "Kreskin, you're the mentalist. Look over there." And the big sign.
I watched the shows. His billet work was very interesting. He had everybody write things, put them into this big basket. They brought the basket to the stage, and he said, "Thank you for putting your ideas in here. Now I need everybody to close their eyes and envision what you were thinking about, and keep your eyes closed." And then we heard this. And then he said, "Everybody can open their eyes now, and I'll put this over to the side." And then he began his show. Oh, look, Michael Dardant put a picture up of him. Oh, that's Meadows put the picture up of me and Michael. Oh, no, that's not Michael Dardant. Sorry, that's Juicy Starling.
That was hilarious.
Juicy
Yeah.
Starling.
I can't believe I missed that entire act.
Yeah, you should have been there. You would have liked it.
Wow.
It was the highlight of that evening, without a doubt.
That's
I
absolutely
see,
amazing.
I want to see Lucy. I want to see Meadow. And Meadow, congratulations on your booking in LA, right?
Oh, thank you.
That's exciting. Very exciting.
I'm
Terrific.
very excited. Well, and Michael too. We're on the same show.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, is that right? Okay,
Yeah.
super.
Yeah, I actually I got the call while I was at 4F, which was very unexpected and kind of and shocking. I've never performed there before, so that's lifelong.
Jack,
no big deal, just a lifelong dream coming true.
Yeah, Jack knows what's good. That's great. That's great. Terrific.
They are blessed to have all three of you in the show together. That'll be blessed. I understand that Michael and Lucy and Juicy are all at the IBM convention this summer in Pittsburgh.
So we'll have to talk about. It's come up that since she's going to be there, I should work it in. But we'll have to talk about how to pull that off or make that happen, or what. I'm open to ideas. I didn't think about it being any kind of. I mean, it's easy to go anywhere around the world and do a Shawn Farquhar impression because anybody in the magic world has heard of him. He doesn't have to even be present for them to get the joke. But so I was hoping would be a callback. This character, I had no idea it would go over as well as it did, and that I would want to maybe bring it back one day. Which means that I should have kept the dress with me, Meadow.
Yeah. Sorry. I took Juicy's dress home with me.
You might have to invest in one, Michael.
Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe I should have an even better one, like with sequins or something. Yeah.
No, we'll figure out a better.
Can you fit into Dame Edna's?
I was surprised I fit into that one.
Maybe keep an eye on Lucy's page to see if she's having another garage sale.
Well, I do live in New Orleans, which is like basically considered drag queen central. So I should have no problem going down Bourbon Street and finding ample supplies of what I would need.
There's drag shows in New Orleans? I would never have imagined.
For the few people who are still conscious.
Yes.
Yeah, not that anybody would remember it exactly.
Characters go over very well, I find, and I think it's real important, and I love watching the characters grow and mature and solidify, and it's terrific. I love that.
I love watching when performers create a character that at some point actually eclipses the performer, when you remember them more as a character than you remember them as themselves. I think that's really amazing. It's it's real art when you get to that level.
That was Dame Edna. You know.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I see. It doesn't happen very often in Magic, but when it happens, it's just spectacular.
Agree.
When you have trouble knowing when they say their name that you have to associate from one to the other, you go, oh, that's not you. It's like, yeah, it's really cool.
It's great.
Yeah, very neat. Hey guys, I'm in New York and I'm gonna go out and explore because it's not raining now. And we'll see you back on the first Tuesday of the month. I love that I get to see all your smiling faces and that we get to just kind of.
Shawn, how long are you going to be in New York?
Until tomorrow morning.
Oh, crap. Okay. I was going to invite you to the Players Club for Cinco de Mayo on Friday. The Players is, it's a reciprocal club from the Magic Castle. And I'm here in New Jersey and I get down there once a week. All right. You'll have to come back.
I've had the opportunity to go there once, got an invitation because as a member of the castle, I went in. It's very cool. But Hidden Wonders, I got to do shows on Thursday and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Back
very restricted now. Looking for things to do on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And it usually takes a day to get to there. So I'm good for gigs on Tuesdays.
There you go.
Stay well.
It's great.
Keep well, keep busy. Also, I'll be happy. We'll see
Thank
you all
you
again.
for running Tuesday.
Yeah.
Have fun. Thanks a million.
Appreciate
it. Bye.
Oh, bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.